The House of Representatives Committee probing Nigeria's power sector reforms has issued fresh directives to key institutions, ordering the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, and Surplus Gas Company to submit complete transaction documents by December 9th. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick has more.
At the National Assembly, the Ad Hoc Committee on Power Sector Reforms resumed investigations into almost 2 decades of spending on electricity. And this time, lawmakers say they want full transparency from all parties involved. Committee Chairman Ibrahim Aliyu directed the CBN, TCN, and Surplus Gas Company to submit their agreements, payment records, loan details, and operational documents without fail. He said the agencies play crucial roles in Nigeria's power reform journey, adding that proper documentation is needed to help the House determine why the sector continues to underperform despite heavy investments.
So there are a lot that Nigerians are expecting from us, and I will assure you that we are going to do a thorough job. We will turn in our report and recommendations.
Representatives of the Central Bank, led by Deputy Director Abdurrahman Hassan, told lawmakers that the bank disbursed loans under several intervention phases, including SAFE 1 and SAFE 2, aimed at improving the power supply chain.
Beneficiaries of the SAFE 3 as of December 2024 are as follows. Abuja had 3 projects, Benin 9 projects, Enugu 2 projects, Eko 8 projects, Ikeja 7, Jos 2 projects, Kaduna 6 projects, Kano 4 projects, Port Harcourt 5 projects.
Another official, Hussein Idris, explained that all interventions were structured on a 10-year cycle, insisting that most beneficiaries performed well. He, however, noted that companies like Yola Disco received an extension due to security troubles in the Northeast. The CBN promised to submit all outstanding documents requested by the committee at the next adjourned date.
So that particular SPV is where we channel the funds for onward interventions to the sector. And that SPV has an agreement with each of the discos.
From the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Ajiboye Oluwagbenga asked for a week extension, saying the company is handling challenges across generation, transmission, and distribution. While Surplus Gas Company also sought legislative assistance, claiming it is battling financial difficulties in its attempts to supply gas for power generation across the country.
In different fora, we have put it across to DISCO. Try to ramp up your consumption to 8,000 megawatts if TCN will not evacuate it. But as we talk to you, speak to you today, that attempts are not being made by the collective DISCO as a whole.
As the deadline approaches, the committee says it expects full disclosure, noting that only accurate records can help explain why Nigeria's massive power investments have not delivered stable electricity. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amopitan, has called on Nigerians to support the commission in ensuring credible and peaceful elections. He made the appeal at the public presentation of a book titled Chronicles of Nigeria's Election Journalists. Our correspondent Sadia Yakubu reports.
The Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman, Professor Josh Amopitan, says journalists remain central to the credibility of Nigeria's electoral process. He says the INEC press corps serve as a vital bridge between the Commission and the voting public, while warning that robust electoral systems can be threatened by misinformation and deliberate distortion. He therefore called on journalists to play a frontline role in ensuring transparency, accuracy, and public confidence in election outcomes.
And this book, as we have heard, is more than a collection of stories. It is, as many observers note, a comprehensive documentation of the sacrifices, the risks, and behind-the-scenes experiences of the reporters who cover our nation's complex electoral landscape.
The chairman said the book underscores the fact that democracy survives on public trust and journalists remain the electorate's strongest safeguard against manipulation and malpractice. He added that in an era where false narratives spread faster than the truth, professional reporting is more essential than ever.
About bringing into the fore and calling attention of the nation, of INEC, of the general public, to some of the travails that are inherent in this work, which we often neglect and don't even pay attention to.
The chairman stressed that technology alone cannot guarantee credible elections. Public trust in information does. He commended the press corps for helping shape national understanding of the electoral process through factual and responsible reporting. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Sadia. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says empowering persons with disabilities is a national duty that must be consistently upheld. She made the statement through the wife of the Imo State Governor, Chioma Uzodinma, at the Renewed Hope Initiative Nationwide Empowerment Program, marking the International Day of Persons with Disabilities in Owerri. Global Television correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports.
Representing the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, the wife of Imo State Governor Chioma Uzodinma says the program is aimed at strengthening livelihood, widening business opportunities, and advancing inclusion to ensure persons with disabilities are not left out. She adds that the initiative reflects the Renewed Hope Agenda's commitment to shared prosperity.
The Renewed Hope Initiative will provide a sum of 200,000 naira business recapitalization grants to 250 persons with disabilities in each state and the Federal Capital Territory to support small business owners to recapitalize their existing businesses and strengthen their means of livelihood.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu announced that the Renewed Hope Initiative has already supported more than 100 women petty traders and persons with disabilities with direct financial grants. She says the RHI initiative also cuts across agriculture, education, healthcare, disaster relief, and food assistance for widows, the elderly, IDPs, and vulnerable households.
It is worth noting that over the past 2 years, the Renewed Hope Initiative has supported over 100,000 women petty traders as small business owners, including persons with disabilities, with direct financial grants to grow their businesses.
Beneficiaries describe the support as timely, helping them stabilize their businesses and improve their livelihood. They thank the First Lady for initiating the program.
Honestly, this woman has been good for us, so I thank her. Thank the governor itself for empowering the disabled. Honestly, I'm very overwhelmed. I'm happy.
I'm very, very happy. And thank God to Mommy to remember us. Thank God.
I think with this empowerment, my business will improve. I'm somebody that makes soap. I have Ostino soap production. So with this empowerment, I will improve my business.
The Renewed Hope Initiative says its goal is to ensure that every Nigerian, regardless of ability, has the opportunity to grow and contribute meaningfully to the society. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
In a powerful tribute to resilience, unity, and national support, the Naval Officers' Wives Association, NOAA, has celebrated 60 years of standing firmly behind Nigeria's military families, marking 6 decades of service that continue to shape homes, strengthen communities, and support the nation's defenders. Samuel Odi reports.
NOAA members from across the country converged at the venue for an evening that honored the association's founding mothers, celebrated widows and young dependents, and showcased a documentary reflecting 6 decades of humanitarian impact. Stakeholders at the event described NOAA as a critical pillar in women empowerment, social development, and national unity. President, Naval Officers' Wives Association, Hajia Aisha Abbas, says the Diamond Anniversary reflects a legacy of compassion and purposeful service. She reaffirmed NOAA's commitment to educational support, healthcare initiatives, skills training, and welfare of families of both serving and fallen heroes.
We envision expanding our programs to further empower women, enhance welfare initiatives, and contribute meaningfully to the broader society. With innovation, collaboration, and renewed vigor, we shall elevate NOAA to greater heights.
The president of Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Safia Hassan Shaibu, expressed delight at NOAA's remarkable journey, praising the association for being a stabilizing force for military households nationwide.
On this auspicious occasion of NOAA's 60th anniversary, tonight we gather here to commemorate your achievements over the years, which reflects your commitment, dedication, and service.
The special guest of honor and president of Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, MENA Femi Oluyede, congratulated NOAA on reaching the 60th year milestone. She highlighted the strong collaboration among Military Officers' Wives Association, stressing that such synergy strengthens national peace and enhances the welfare structure of armed forces.
From those early beginnings, NOAA has grown into a formidable institution, touching lives through education, healthcare support, empowerment initiatives, humanitarian outreach, and sustained care for widows and vulnerable groups. 60 years of service is no small feat. It is the story of resilience, innovation, and purposeful leadership.
The evening wrapped up with musical performances by Naval Band and a ceremonial toast and a renewed pledge to deepen support for Nigerian Navy's mission. As NOAA steps into new decade, members said the goal remains clear: to sustain service, expand charity, and continue strengthening the families behind Nigeria's maritime defenders. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Benin presidency says it remains in control despite coup attempt. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please don't go away. We start with business in the second segment of the bulletin. The federal government, through the Federal Inland Revenue Service document, has received 360.29 billion naira from electronic money transfer levies between January and October 2025. The amount was more than double the 170.92 billion naira generated in the same period of 2024. Showing an increase of 189.36 billion naira. The monthly figures showed that receipts were higher in every month of 2025 than in the corresponding months of 2024. The percentage increases were significant across the entire period, pointing to a sustained rise in taxable transfer volumes. The All Progressives Congress National Youth Leader, Dayo Israel, is leading a renewed push for financial discipline among Nigerian youths in partnership with Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation. This is aimed at driving a nationwide culture of responsible credit use under the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda. Our correspondent, Ubong Usoro, has the details.
It was a youth-friendly engagement driven by the ruling All Progressive Congress, bringing together young Nigerians to understand how access to credit, when managed responsibly, can become a gateway to stability, enterprise, and long-term financial growth. Speaking at the event, APC National Youth Leader Dayo Israel highlighted the party's commitment to policies that uplift young people. He said responsible credit access is central to helping youth build businesses, expand ideas, and take greater ownership of their economic future.
There's this slang that says, money na water, and it means that, you know, there's, what lesson does a person that have money na water mindset needs to know in terms of managing your resources individually, mastering money?
In his remarks, the managing director of the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, Engineer Uzoma Mwaba, explained that the APC administration is intentionally widening access to consumer credits to strengthen households. He, however, emphasized that only financial discipline, which is consistent saving, thoughtful spending, and avoiding reckless borrowing, will make the system work.
That's not about other people. That's not about spending money. It makes you to now spend money so that people can see you spending money and give you that momentary dopamine high of, I like this guy, I respect this guy, or you buy the nice car. I love nice things or nice enough things, but I'm not against that, but I'm just saying, when you know that when you are done with that activity, you will be back hustling. And if you don't have that source coming again, that you either be depressed or run into crime.
A young poet also took the stage, praising the administration and credit score leadership for restoring dignity to Nigerian youth by making credits more accessible, fair, and structured. The initiative is expected to deepen financial literacy and advance APC's long-term plan for empowering millions of young Nigerians through sustainable credit system. With the push from the APC Youth Wing and Credit Score, responsible credit culture is gradually transitioning from aspiration to national practice, strengthening the financial backbone of Nigeria's next generation. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
The European Union has launched a €12 million regional initiative aimed at boosting the safety, security, and operational performance of major seaports across West Africa and Central Africa. The project, known as Africa Securing Corridors, Ports and Exchanges in Western and Central Africa scope, was formally launched in Lomé, Togo, and will run for 4 years. The initiative comes as African nations seek to enhance port resilience, improve crisis response capacity, and expand regional cooperation in maritime security. We go to the foreign scene, where Benin Republic is facing fresh political turmoil after a group of soldiers announced on state television that they had removed President Patrice Talon from office. However, Talon's entourage insisted he is safe, describing the incident as the work of a small faction that briefly seized the TV station while the regular army moved to restore control. The arrest comes as Talon approaches the end of his second term in a country with a long history of coup and rising regional instability. The Prime Minister of Qatar, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Al Thani, has called for inclusive engagement, including with non-state actors such as the Palestinian group Hamas, as the only viable route to regional peace. Speaking at the Doha Forum, Sheikh Mohammed said, "You cannot resolve or reach a solution if you have no one speaking to non-state actors." He noted that the start of Qatar's relationship with Hamas goes back more than 10 years, adding that opening the group's office in the country came at the request of the US, aiming to enhance communications with the armed group. And Japanese Minister of Defense Shinjiro Kozumi has accused Chinese fighter jets of directing their fire control radar at Japanese aircraft during 2 separate incidents over international waters near the island of Okinawa. In a post on X, Koizumi said that Tokyo has lodged a strong protest about the 2 incidents and made a stern demand for measures to prevent recurrence. In response, Chinese Navy spokesperson said that a Japanese self-defense force aircraft repeatedly approached and disrupted the Chinese Navy as it was training, adding that Japan's claims were inconsistent with the facts. And we go to the sports scene, where the Nigeria Football Federation has issued a firm warning to referees and assistant referees nationwide, insisting it will impose severe sanctions on any match official whose conduct brings the sport into disrepute. In a memo released by the Federation Refereeing Development Committee and signed by Muhammad Aminu on behalf of the nation's president, with copies sent to the heads of all league bodies and the Federation's General Secretary, the organization expressed growing concern over fluctuating officiating standards across domestic competitions. The memo acknowledged that while many officials continue to uphold fairness and comply with the laws of the game, others have acted in ways that undermine both the integrity of refereeing and the wider reputation of Nigerian football. However, to strengthen oversight, the NFF president has set up a monitoring committee tasked with deploying personnel to match venues across the NPFL, NNL, and NWFL. Egypt's highly anticipated friendly match against Nigeria has been pushed back by 2 days to December 16. FIFA's updated international release directive forced both nations to adjust their final Africa Cup of Nations preparations. The new cycle allows clubs to hold African players until December 15, leaving both sides without full squad access for the initial December 14 date. And Abuja is celebrating another chapter of the elite road racing as Kenya maintained its dominance at the 2025 Premium Trust Bank Abuja City Half Marathon, sweeping the top spots in both the men's and women's categories. Anita Patrick completes the story.
Thousands of runners thronged the streets of the Federal Capital Territory for the second edition of Premium Trust Bank Abuja City Half Marathon, and once again, the East Africans proved unstoppable. In the men's race, Kenyans Kefa Namutala stormed to victory, finishing 1 hour, 5 minutes, 14 seconds, earning the top prize of $8,000. His compatriots Edwin Kim Yango and Ezekiel Chep Korimi followed closely, completing a full Kenyan sweep of the podium. Nigeria, however, had reasons to cheer. Adamu Shehu delivered the country's best performance, finishing 4th overall with a time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, 25 seconds, earning a combined reward of 2 million naira and $4,000. Another Nigerian, Auta Monday, finished 8th overall and 2nd in the national category, taking home 1.5 million naira and $500.
We really appreciate Abuja Half Marathon and its team because it has done a very good job.
In the women's category, Kenyan's Mercy Jet Kemo clinched the title with a time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, 53 seconds, but it was Nigeria's Shembo Blessing and Akusho Lydia who thrilled the home crowd with a historic 2nd and 3rd place finish, both breaking the 1 hour, 17 minutes mark.
Firstly, I thank God because it is the first time half marathon to run in Abuja.
For the National Sports Commission, Chairman of the Commission, Shehu Diko, says the prominence this marathon gives to long-distance running in Nigeria is remarkable, as events like this can give Nigeria a comparative advantage in road racing.
Look at the economy around what is happening. Look at the promotion for Nigeria globally. So it's quite brilliant for us.
Organizers Nilo Sports Management and sole sponsor Premium Trust Bank received widespread commendation for staging what many describe as one of Nigeria's best organized international races. Officials say the goal is to elevate the Abuja City Half Marathon to a platinum-rated event, projecting Nigeria onto the global athletics map.
And the turnout this morning, we are so excited to be the sole sponsor of this event.
It was very, very good. I mean, Nilay Sports is a premium organizer when it comes to the races across Nigeria. They did a really good job.
With over 3,000 runners participating and strong international presence, the 2025 edition marks another step towards making Abuja a major destination for world-class road racing. Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And that wraps it up on on Global TV News Prime. But before we go, here's a recap of our top stories. We told you that the Senate has assured Nigerians that it is currently working with relevant government agencies and other stakeholders to deploy technology to combat the insecurity ravaging the country. And in business, the federal government, through the Federal Inland Revenue Service document, has received 360.29 billion naira from electronic money transfer levies between January and October 2025. And on the foreign scene, Benin Republic is facing fresh political turmoil after a group of soldiers announced on state television that they has removed President Patrice Talon from office, a report which the presidency disclaims. And in sports, Egypt's highly anticipated friendly match against Nigeria has been pushed back by 2 days to December 16. Before we go, a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TVNG. I am Shehu Saeed, wishing all of you a happy and pleasant working week.